Alright, let's get back to it. This is the remaining Iron Worm. These 9 are done. This army is done. Just finish off all the bases for you guys. Alright, the boring part. Good morning. Once we get to the boring part, turn on the camera for entertainment. Yeah, they're breacher shields. Bring them to that. Okay. Well, shortly. Yeah, these are for Horus Heresy. I made a quick thoughts on Age of Sigmar 3rd edition video. I'm having some audio issues. Too much time on that. I was re-uploading now. Started watching it. Hold it down on. Breachers? Were Breachers ever in 40k? I started in 6th edition. I don't remember them ever previously. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing 40k rules. Oh, fair. What kind of rules did you give them in 40k? What will these shields do for you in 40k? Because all I can think of is, I don't know, probably like a Storm Shield Light, +1 armor save, and maybe just a 6-up invuln. Because even 5-up would be too good. +1 armor save is good. Let's see if that video is done. It has definitely increased my love of the chevrons, seeing as how they're much easier to do. 6,000 points. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, the invul only for shooting. And then heavy cover. Simple. I can get behind that. Non-pro. I don't mind doing the chevrons on these guys. I'm actually not looking forward to blocking out the main line. Like putting a black line right there. Is this line down here? The one I'm not looking. Yeah, point wise, they're up there. They're too expensive. But they look cool, so I buy them. I don't think I can own Iron Warriors without them. Spitfire. Yeah, it is just Horus Heresy in general. Everything is. I think we're just getting used to the 40k point cost. The things just dropping, and Horus Heresy points don't go down. I picture. I don't remember that. Sorry, I don't remember that. I play a lot of games. Wait, I'm having a vague memory. This is Orcs and Goblin bolt throwers, right? Not high up bolt throwers. I won't remember this now. When? What episode number? I don't remember that at all, Spitfire. Like, at all. Is that recent? Oh, wait. No. Is it against an Archlector, not a wizard? Okay, hold on. Oh, no. I'm sorry. I, I keep having a flash of a bit of memory of this, but I can't. Okay, I remember that game now. I remember him hitting my chariot turn one. Well, yes. They brought it. He's like, oh, that thing must be really good. I'm gonna kill it. Little did he know, it was trash. And I think I killed a couple of characters with bolt throwers in that game, right? How do I feel about the 3D printed man? I don't know how I feel about it. I get it. Get it. Do. What's the thing? Didn't not too long ago they released an article saying that they're okay with 3D printed bits and stuff, your personal armies, so long as you're not you don't sell the bits or whatnot. And then now it's like, no, you can't use them at all. Yeah, I get it. I do. I don't know if they're handling it well. People are already getting upset about it. I don't know. I own a 3D printer, but I don't 3D print any like Warhammer type stuff. So it doesn't affect me, to be honest with you. I'm trying to understand both sides. I think I'm on like I think I lean. Hey, Stormholder. I think I lean Games Workshop on this one. Like whatever. But at the same time, as I think the, in my opinion, if it was me, I don't have all the information they have. Obviously, I would have just had an official like we don't like it, but never address it. Like turn a blind eye to it. I'm actually liking the what I think is going to be more of a problem for people is if you're bringing, for example, two high fleets, you now have to paint two different high fleets in your army. That I think is going to upset people, but I'm 100% behind that one. I think that's going to be far more impactful. No, in fact, I'm going to rephrase that. I know that's going to be far more impactful in the tournament community scene than the bits. Let's see the video. Oh, we're done. Many of you started watching that Age of Sigmar It's a Mrs. video. I'm putting it back up right now. I had some audio issues. I had to take it down. How do I feel with the Wraithseer? I think it's an awesome model. And I'm going to have 3 in my armies coming up. A little expensive on the point side, but like, whatever. Not that bad. Well, no, Kit Bash is bashing Games Workshop kits with other Games Workshop kits. There's no 3D printing implied in that whatsoever. Nice, Stormbolter, nice. I'm actually working on jumping all over the place as I normally. But Iron Warriors are such an autopilot thing for me to paint, so it's easy to do while filming or streaming. And if Game Rusher maybe supported alt sculpts, heads, whatever. Sure. Hey Anthony. Yeah, no, like I really do believe that the painting your high fleets or your sub factions differently on the table should have been honestly should have been a rule a long time ago. Like this particular Tau guy is Sia, this one here is Tau, and these guys over here, like it was hard to follow. It took you out of the game. I know tournament's not about the immersion really, but whatever. If they want that rule, I can support that one. Now again, the 3D printing one, it doesn't affect me, so I'm just not passionate either way. But I understand it from their point of view. If your whole army, and I'm sorry if you're offended by this, but if your whole army is 3D printed, and I can tell, I don't really want to play against that army anyway. So I suspect the people who are, I don't know if it's true, but I suspect people who are really going to be upset about the 3D printing thing aren't people I would play against anyway, quickly. So I just don't see it affecting me. Yeah, the hazard sword bolter, they're not hard to do. They're actually quite easy for me to do. The problem is I do have to pay attention. So when I get to those, because done one already. When I get to that, I'll get quiet, or I'll do that off camera or whatever. But when we get to that, that's the last thing I'm going to do on these guys. No, I have two with multi guns, and then combi melt on the sergeant. The lattice cutters are just bad. The weapons they come with when you buy the kit from Forge World come with a lattice cutter, a graviton gun, which is blasted heavy. Like, won't use the melta gun does the job you want. No, Jorge. I don't know what you mean, red green. I don't know what you're trying to say. Yeah, I think melted. Like, I love the idea of graviton guns. But why are they heavy? They could even salvo. Salvo 1-1. If they were salvo 1-1, they'd still be terrible guns, but they'd be playable. And I would use those. Glass cutters and graviton guns just don't have a place in the game. Thank you, Anthony. Thoughts on the Great Sword Horde, level 4 Lore of Life, and a Warrior Priest? Yeah, it's expensive, but it'll get work done. I think you can do the same job with the Chronic Command and Halberdiers, which aren't going to be quite as good, but good enough for the massive point cost difference. But yeah, if you have the points, Great Swords, go nuts. I actually love the Great Swords. Great Swords were the reason why I wanted to play Empire back when I bought them. Red green, bro. One more time, buddy. Still doesn't make sense. You type like I talk. Or English isn't your first language, in which case, I understand. You say stuff on 3D printing and one thing like do is tanks. Sorry, bud. What are you saying? Oh, stop. I hate that. Stupid Gilliman stole the Tyrant Siege Terminator idea. If you add unit Iron Warriors, what would you add? One unit. I would add, even though they're very much a shooting army, I would like to see a nice big. Red green. I don't know if Crown of Command on Prince Star Dragon. No, don't even bother. If you need that Crown of Command, you're in the wrong fight anyway. It's a waste. They're backing up. Adding a unit. I would like to see a close combat unit added to these guys. In what regard? I don't know. I'm not an ideas guy. But my thoughts on Sigmar 2.0, there are some serious hits and a couple of misses. And I just uploaded a video. It's only about half an hour long, covering all that. But if you want the $2 version, the double turn I think is still a huge miss for the game. I think terrain is kind of a miss. Not quite there. The terrain doesn't seem to matter for the game, which is unfortunate. It's like War Machine, that aspect. Coherency is a huge problem. It heavily nerfs some armies and once again massively buffs 25 mil bases. I go into a little more detail explaining all that, but I've been saying for a long time that the most important stat on Age of Sigmar's data sheet isn't on the data sheet or the war scroll. It's actually the base size. 25 mil bases compared to 32 mil bases were just significantly more effective in the game. And that problem has just been heavily exasperated by the new 1-inch coherency. Because unlike 40k, you don't fight within half of a half. You have to fight in your reach, which is 1 inch. So things on a 32 mil base that are a minimum 10-man squad, Namarti Reavers, or I don't know, Iron Jaws, they minimum 10? I'm not even sure. Festigors, Gores, all these things only really get 6 of their 10 mauls into close combat now, no matter how far they move, no matter how far they pile in, all that nonsense. They just took away a bunch of attacks on anything on a 28 mil base or bigger. My Gorgon, my Bull Gores, if I have a squad of bottom squad of 3s, you can upgrade the squad to 6. Either only 4 of them are going to fight, or if one of my Bull Gores die, then I can get a 5th one in. But if you're at 25 mil base, coherency is not a problem, and once again, 25 mil is king in the game. You kind of pay you don't. I don't feel like Games Workshop takes the base size, which is a massive factor, into account for points when they address the points of things. But I explained how I think that they've already thought about this, and it might not be a problem moving forward. It might be a short-term problem, kind of like you play 40k. It feels like 2 games, but not really, because like there's the 9th edition codexes, and then there's the pre-9th edition. I think we're about to enter an era of that for Sigmar, and then if they rapidly release codex, or sorry, battle tomes, won't be a problem. No, I have no Saltmarine. I have no close combat units other than my robots for my Iron Warriors. Exactly. Guliman is a nice squad. Halberdiers are just a solid choice for Empire. They fill your core with the Hurricanum nearby and a Warrior Priest. They will get work done. The Games Workshop tournaments are harsh on 3D or third-party miniatures. Maybe I'm not sure. I believe you. I've never been a tournament guy, though. Like I can see myself going forward, playing around more. But the painting thing is still whatever, because I don't think they'll like Blue Marines having to be ultras. It'll be those are blue. Has to be. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what you're saying. Um, but to reiterate, the painting rules, I fully agree with. If you want to bring 2 Tau sets, 2 Space Marine whatevers, anything like that, in my opinion, you need to have them clearly painted different. I thought it should have been a rule a long time ago. And I know that it will be an unpopular opinion. But my opinion. No, I don't use a wet pellet. I used to use a wet pellet. I actually gave it away to Cullen. Yeah, I know. Weirdly enough, you're right. Reading the back half of it for streams, it might be far more useful for me. But whatever. I'm maybe wilding. 40k isn't enough Skaven. I understand. I agree. There should be more space Skaven. When am I gonna play Fantasy for my channel again? I got a few bat reps filmed. I think I want to film the rest of the Kickstarter before I start uploading them again. But I plan on going hard and heavy into bat reps once the lockdown in my area. But yeah, I can't say when because I can't control the government. But that will be the future of this channel. I'll still do videos like this, but I'll be bat reps. I think the delays of this year will significantly reduce the No, I don't think you will see a reduction in speed. In fact, I can only see it like making 10th come out even faster. Because new additions are major revenue builders for Games Workshop. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be shocked to see a new edition every 2 years moving forward. Like 4 year turnaround per edition. So 4 years from now, Age of Sigmar. I'm not saying this is the thing. I think this is what I predict. 4 years from now, you'll see Age of Sigmar 4.0, and then 3 years from now, you'll see 40k 10th edition. You have them on 4 year rotations, and that'll be every 2 years for games, which I suspect is probably good for the revenue. Again, I don't know. How do you improve Chaos Space Marine Chosen? I think you remove them from the game. I think if the kit is not a separate kit, get rid of them. I think that's the most likely thing to happen. That being said, there'll be something like Trueborn for the Dark Eldar. Apply this +1 weapon skill, like a 2+ weapon skill, and the ability to take more options, like more special things. It was, I think, the most likely outcome. But if it was me, I would just remove them from the game. Unless they had like their own kit. You like that, eh? The in card. Here's a tip. Here's a tip. Here's a tip. Here's a tip. Pin the head to the neck, but don't glue it together. And then glue everything else together, and then glue the head pinned to the neck together. Short of that, it's going to be a bitch. Is Lead Belcher the best paint color of all time? Yes, it is. Probably. Agrax Ricochet is a close second. It's not really a paint, but there will be Path to Glory. I know Matthew's big excitement for Age of Sigmar 3.0 is what Path to Glory could be in the new Battle Tomes. But he's super excited to see what those are. And actually, so am I. But yeah, you almost certainly will. And then more Yogg-Mentor, probably. When do you think the Chaos Box Dread will return? No, never. If ever, never. I can't see coming. Horus, will you have a good one? Aurelian, again, I'm in my area still in lockdown, so not yet. And then I can't say when because I don't know when they're gonna let us go to have our lives back. And as soon as they allow me to, I will do so. There's nothing I can do. At 2 a.m. where you are? Well, what else is there to watch at 2 a.m.? Watch infomercials. Ooh, we're getting there. Love to see Beast of Chaos and the Path to Glory. I gotta buy some chariots. Loki. Yeah, but there's only one episode. Well, no, really, it's different. Oh, and okay, so me working as a business, and we're allowed to be in the building recording bat rips, so long as we follow a bunch of things, right? Whereas my channel, I have to use the studios after hours, and I can't be in the building after hours. There's a big long explanation as to why. And more so than that, the only people who can be down there are employees, and my channel can't afford to pay the guys to make bat rips. Even though Paul and Luca do fancy with me, we've been squeezing them in whenever we can. That's why I have some filmed, but I don't want to release them yet until we're able to get them all going again. One of them is rough too, because the one of them I had, like the first one you're gonna see is my first Orcs and Goblins game that I filmed like a year ago. You're gonna see my first Orc and Goblin game after you guys watched a bunch of my Orcs and Goblins. And there's like we have a kid, Jackson, who is volunteering. He might be allowed to. I'm trying to figure out the logistics of it. He might be allowed to film with me in the studios because he's a co-op. We gotta figure out. So if that's the case, it'll speed things up a little bit, so long as he wants to. I know he. But basically, I'll probably have to wait for everything to just go back to normal here before I can really. The new Argyle Tall model for Word Bearers, who do you think will be the characters for the other legions? Well, have they announced more characters? I did not know that. But I don't know. There's a bunch of characters that need models, right? Teams are doing Word Bearers right now, so is there any more Word Bearer characters that don't have models? would expect that to be. I don't think so. I think that's all of them. But they can just make new ones. This guy's colored. More Hyles. You haven't had enough Hyles yet? I've done so many Hyle Barras. Don't get me wrong, I love me some Hyles. Should we discuss why fantasy is better? Well, fantasy has its flaws as well. Like, it is a hard game to learn, a hard game to master, and impossible to play rules as written. Fantasy, you needed a massive errata just to do the movement phase. And there have been there has never been a game where I've played fantasy where I didn't have to go in the rule book because some weird obscure situation has popped up. It happens so often. In fact, 100% of the time. I was able to purchase some more Bretonians from Molder, so I think I can get a decent list going. Soon. I get it all painted then. But why is the price of fantasy miniatures just the production one? Total War has been the best and worst, best thing for Warhammer Fantasy in forever, and the worst thing for me forever. Making the prices of everything just skyrocket. But ultimately, I'll say no, it's the best. Got more people in the game, more people in the area playing it. Who knew? Working on these, working on these on. I was working on these while playing D&D last night. Should have been done. Well, I would like to see. I still want to see an Alvarez Mon model. Wouldn't mind seeing a Course Wing model, but nothing out there I really need. Oh no, I'd like to see a Kira Valen model for the arm. And I guess Matthew, what? Who's Oh, Matthew's playing. Sorry. Yeah, Matthew is playing Cruel Boys. I believe he's already played a game with them. How are you playing all infantry Bretonian army? That's not. You can't. You can't, stop. You can't do that. Oh, that's very different. Wasn't always that way, dude. The last book made the peasant's life very grim. That was a 6th edition book, but it wasn't that way back in 5th. Bretonians were good guys in 5th edition and took care of their people. 6th edition came out and yeah, class warfare. Actually, now I want to play Total War 2. Never played Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. Only D&D. There was talk of our group. We have 2 campaigns going at a time. Luca DM. Well, before the pandemic, Luca DM'd one. I'm at DM the other. When Luca comes back, because right now we're playing on Discord. Luca doesn't want to do that. When Luca comes back, when we're able to get back together proper, he wants to do Warhammer Fantasy Role. Everybody seems to be on board with that, so we're probably going to do it. You never know if things change. Yeah, we have a lot of fun with it. I'm a little. I feel like the game could use 6th edition by now. The game has been a little too simplified. Fine, it works. I'm looking for a little more complexity in the game. A lot of classes need some rework. Not for balance purposes, because it's kind of boring. I think in my opinion, it needs a shake up. That's all though. Valkyrie, I'm always interested in Bretonian, Dark Elf, and or yeah, all of that stuff. Send me an email, steve@miniwargaming.com. I'll type it out with what you have and what you're looking for. See if we can make a deal. Many games have issues with many editions, right? No game is perfect. Warhammer Fantasy is one of my all-time favorite games, and there's a prime example of no game is perfect. Beautiful. Yeah, but crazy if you don't think that. That's just I don't know. That's not fun. I'll probably never play Divination Wizard. Let me rephrase that. I guess that is a lot of fun for some people. So when you're playing a long campaign, I don't know. I like to have challenges to overcome, not just super reliability. Yeah, there'll be Horus Heresy on my channel for sure. I think all my buddies play it. They got a bunch of I have a bunch of guys that you've probably never seen in Batters before that are itching to come on with some Horus Heresy armies, fantasy armies, 40k stuff. I'm gonna do it all. I filmed a Horse Heresy last week, and I think Josh and Luke are filming a pairing for it tomorrow. So expect to see a mini Wargaming Horse Heresy probably this coming Friday or the. Yeah, I would love to do more RPG type stuff at mini Wargaming. Problem is, hey Kyle, Problem is, it's not really profitable, and when we do it, it's just pretty much for us. It's fun for us. Like, it's why we do it, and you have to like find like appropriate time where um we don't need like the rapid release of everything over the last couple of years has made doing RPG shows almost impossible. Basically, we were gonna do one 3 months ago, 4 months ago, I forget what it was, and then stuff changed, and we had to like we did a different we did that Path of Glory that Crusade campaign instead for a bunch of reasons why I got pushed. Stiv dropped it a couple of weeks ago, maybe last week. Yeah, my gut reaction to I just uploaded a 30-minute video, Kyle, which I know you don't want to watch. Doing my like explaining about the new core rule changes that I like and I don't like. There was a couple of really good positives, a couple of really good hits, and a couple of I still think as big misses. But it also feels incomplete. How'd you do that? How did you do that? Okay, I'll talk about that in a second. Thank you, Stormbolter, for being the first ever to give me money. That's awesome. Super appreciated. Completely have been derailed. I have a super chat. I was talking to Kyle. Okay, yeah. Yeah. So Reddit was an uproar saying it's all rank and flank because this one-inch coherency thing. It's not even remotely rank and flank. It's arguably a little bit of rank, but there's no flank. And ranks don't matter. No, it's not even remotely. Hey, hello, welcome. It's not even remotely like fantasy, even the movement type. But a lot of positive changes. I can only honestly, I can only see good things in the future if they would just drop a couple. They still need to work on terrain, but I think 40k needs to work on terrain as well. But AOS needs to at least catch up to 40k terrain rule wise. The 1-inch coherency is a massive buff for 25 mil models bases, and everything not on a 25 mil base, as far as I got a massive. But I also feel like Games Workshop is preparing for that. Is more of a hunch than anything else. Just looking at the last couple of battle tomes. Wait, you didn't even play this game. All right, well I'm in it. Just looking at the last couple of battle tomes, I think that they're planning ahead for this 1-inch coherency thing. As it stands right now, a bunch of armies are massively nerfed. Their combat output from it, which is unfortunate. And then the double, like I mentioned, double turn. I hate that rule. I explained that like if the double turn is far more game impacting when it happens between battle round 2 and 3, or 3 and 4, or 4 and 5. The later it happens, the more impactful it typically is. But when it happens between battle round 1 and 2, and I gotta wait for my opponent to take his second turn, I haven't really played yet because I was forced to go first or whatever, and first turn isn't a whole lot of doing anything. And my opponent takes 2 turns, like I'm just bored. I don't want to play anymore. I can like I've waited too long to play this game. First I set up, then I did the first turn, but like, the first turn is always like minuscule for everybody. Then your opponent goes, but then you go and start playing the game. But if he goes again, you're waiting like 45 minutes sometimes for him to finish their movement or whatever. I think Games Workshop feels a double turn is fine because combat is back and forth, but so many things are starting to mitigate that. But either way, I made a 30-minute video. I might have to make a longer one, but we'll see. You've played AOS? I did not know that. I thought you were. Oh no, you have, yeah. But it's on the Doom Bull's War Scroll, Jonathan. Look on the Doom Bull. It's his command ability. Okay, so yeah, my channel got approved for members and super chats. I got 3 different people working on like emojis and what do you call those things? Badges. I got 3 different artists working on that kind of stuff, and once I get all their artwork back, I'll activate memberships. It's just gonna, anybody who wants to support, feel free to. It'll all just go to support bat reps. I guess in miniatures, but bat reps. But that is, see what happens with that. But I did not know super chats were actually active and live, and Stormbolter threw me off. I thought I had to like turn them on. I know I have to measure memberships. I'm good on, but I have to like do a couple of things to activate them. But that'll happen probably by the end of the week or next week. But that's cool, Stormbolter. Like that's awesome, buddy. You're making me look it up because anytime somebody questions something, it's a good idea to look it up. Yep. Yep, I did it wrong. Dang it. Okay, to be fair, it used to be all war horde units within 12. Dang. Yeah, that wouldn't have worked. I have to reply to a comment real quick on the video. Fix that. Damn. People repainting your core for AOS. You mean repainting? You mean rebasing? Play with square bases. Alex, appreciate it, man. Yeah, that's the internet has helped me get through it as well. Any tips on making a Minotaur list with a couple of Gorgons? Yeah, the Gorgons are worked fine. Everything else, Minotaur's trash. Unfortunately, Beasts of Chaos are the worst book by far. I would just wait for a new book. They are like unplayable is not a fair word, but they're basically unwinnable. Oh, repainting. Who cares? Play them what they are. I wish I kept all my original models that I painted over the years with their bad paint jobs. It's like whatever. That's how I used to paint. When's the last time you played Big Bar? Oh man, your money's worth. I should keep painting. I just want to talk about the Age of Sigmar. I want somebody. I'm dying for somebody to give me a argument for the Age of Sigmar double turn that makes any form of sense. I've never heard a single coherent or logical use for it. And I'm looking for the, oh, I hadn't considered that. That's genius. But like every time it's like, well, you got a plan for it. Well, that doesn't make sense. That's a miniature war game. You got a plan for a lot of things. Argument is sometimes our like Beast of Chaos, for example, can't win without it. Well, if that's true, then it'll happen against them just as much as it happens for them. So it's just making some possible games or really hard games impossible for them. I just wish somebody can come up with an argument for it. I cannot for the life of me understand why it's still in the game. I thought for sure they would remove it for 3rd edition. And I'm not seeing, I don't see I don't see why. Well, no, Alex, we have to go back to using double turn. Because new edition, we're going to play the rules correctly for the foreseeable future. Here's an argument: you roll more dice, so good, maybe, but arguably you roll less dice because of it, because the game's over. Like it's the game scale is too big to for it to work. Like if it was a small scale game, alternate activation. Like if it was only one unit, there's plenty of the mechanic itself isn't terrible. It's terrible within the rule set of the game and the scale of the game. I know there's a bit of an ask, but can you guys just not, buddy? I'm with you. I'm with you. We've already talked about it, and then somehow, and I don't know how we got there, but reading the 3rd edition rule set, we walked away saying, oh, you know what? I don't think we can go forward and not use it. We have to use it now. But I'm like, I thought about it without seeing General's Handbook, because I'm still crossing my fingers that General's Handbook puts in a rule like, these scenarios, you don't use the initiative roll, or the priority roll. There's still that hope. It's not going to happen. Still that hope, so I'm waiting for that. Or they make it optional or something. So I'm waiting for General's Handbook. But gaining 1 command point for going second isn't nearly enough. And I would just, in my opinion, I would just house rule that you don't get an additional command point for going second, and you can just go back. Now, the reason why I got really bummed out today, I was hoping that the General's Handbook would have something that would say you don't have the double turn anymore. Then they released this rule thing for like the Realm of Beasts. And on Battle Round 3, whoever goes second in Battle Round 3 can remove one of the objectives from the table as the Earth itself eats it, absorbs it. I'm like, oh, damn. It's just going to be part of the game for sure. And they're going to keep adding crazy, wacky rules to try to make sense of the double turn. Like, I don't care, like, I don't know. No matter how hard they go to balance it, if I have to go first and my opponent then goes twice, I'm gonna be bored 100% of the time. We should just play more fantasy to make up for it. I just want that rule to go. But Sigmar gets all the cool new models and rule updates. But yeah, I mean, the just play fantasy mentality is exactly what I've done, right? I've never seen something that was just so I don't know, game breaking for me. Models are gorgeous. I know, that's the thing. Like the new Cruel Boys, love them. I even like the new Stormcast models. I think their poses are much more dynamic. Those spears and shield ones. I don't like that big hammer shield ones. They're a little too thick for me. But the spears and shields, they're not boring stance. I actually really like them. So shorter games, yeah, mainly played. Okay, so I get the shorter games thing. I've always my big beef with Ninth Edition, it takes longer to play than anything before. I would rather lose the game on turn 2 or 3 than win the game on turn 5 when I play Warhammer 40. I'd rather play 2 games than one big long one. And you don't like winning is you always want to win, but whatever. Who cares? I want to have fun. I'm here to play a game. But you can't argue that double turn makes the game shorter as a positive because if the game was shorter because of double turn, it typically means one person didn't play and one person didn't have fun. Unless you love just sitting up and waiting. Yahweh, how's it going, buddy? Have any of you seen some snowy Necrons in Bat Rips at Mini Wargaming with a guy who just loves to laugh and has an infectious laugh? That's this guy right here. Oh yeah, the Blood Warriors are fantastic models to convert into Berserkers. The Blood Warriors are really, and they're old Sigmar models too. They're really good looking models to this day still. I think AOS magic is worse than 8th. Well, eighth magic has its problem. Like it's. Why would you say AOS magic is worse than 8th? I kind of like their magic system right now in AOS. I think they really fixed. They fixed endless spells as far as I'm concerned. I want to play around with them more, but I love what they did with endless spells. I think I'll give them credit for that. Endless spells and command abilities, the way they all work now, they nailed it. That's why 9th edition Battle usually film length long. I know. All my bat rips typically over the years have been mine are typically shorter than everybody else. The way I film and the way I play. Even 9th edition are getting long. Like a 45-minute bat rip was typical for me for 8th edition and previous, and now mine are like an hour and a half. I'm like, that's too long. People flipping to buy my hand. Argo Toll's here. Hey Steve, I agree the double turn can be so boring and disheartening, or at least it was for me. Got my bum whooped by a double turn Stormcast murder too many times. Thing is, and here's, I was about, sorry, my nose is all itchy. I was about to say, here's what I know. But I guess I can't say that. Here's my anecdotal evidence. No, I can't say that. Okay. Here's my opinion. Here's what I think. I personally know a bunch of people that won't play Age of Sigmar because of the priority initiative thing. I probably wouldn't play it because of that mechanic. I play it because it's my job, and I have fun with my buddies playing with it at work. But yeah, that's how much I dislike the mechanic. I know. I don't want to speak for. It doesn't matter. How I feel is felt by other people for sure. I don't think many people, if any, Sigmar players would leave the game if they remove that rule. No matter what people will say they will, but they're still going to play. People on the internet will complain about anything. And once people say, I don't want to play this anymore, I'm going to play. I don't think we'll see any, my opinion, any negative revenue changes Games Workshop for removing this rule. And I can only see people coming into the game. I only see this rule as keeping people out, not keeping people in. Just truly don't believe anybody's staying just for this. Or people, I don't see anybody leaving because they took this rule. And if I'm right, I can't know that I'm right, but if I'm right, I'm like, what are you thinking? Like, Games Workshop, why? Why is it still here? Somebody over there loves it so much that it has to stay. I don't get it. Maybe they truly do believe because combat is I go, you go, pick back and forth, that they need something like this. And maybe their data says no, we need this for this game. I guess I would love to put the conversation to rest. Andrew, 100%. 100%. I think 40K. I can speak to it about 40K. No, actually, we're both. Both games play better at 1,500 points. Games Workshop constantly reducing the point cost of models and constantly, like, a whole bunch of armies had a bunch of models reduce point cost by about 10% ish, right? That's just 10% more models on the table. And if everything gets reduced by 10% for balancing purposes, then it didn't balance jack all because everything ever. We're seeing, in my opinion, yes, too many models on the table, and then they try to speed it up with killing things faster, which is whatever. It does work to a degree, but the games I think are just taking too long. Some people, like for example, I'll speak for Luca. He loves that. He loves a long, crunchy, grindy game, and he wants to take all day to play, which works for us. We're in a studio, and it's our job. I don't understand how people play this game in a studio. No, sorry, in a store. Actually, I was gonna say, actually, I do know that. I see people constantly play 40K with no terrain. Well, minimal terrain, and everything's out in the open. And whoever goes first just tables their opponent. But if you're playing with proper terrain, in my opinion, what I would call proper terrain, the game takes so long to play. In my opinion, too long to be fun. Like I said in this stream, I'd rather lose on turn 2 or 3 than win on turn 5 because I could have played 2 games if we lost on turn. I'd rather play a couple of games and lose them both than win one big long. I just want to have fun, move my models around, do different things. And I think 9th edition is taking a long time. Mostly because it's very layered as well. So, but you bring the game down to about 1,500 points. Most of that goes away. I think jumping up to the 2,000 point level, when Games Workshop did it, it also increased the points value of everything. But it was about the same models at the time when it was like 8th edition. But then they slowly start reducing the point cost of everything, and now we have a crap ton of models on the table. To play 1,500 points, problem goes away. I think the same thing is similar for AOS. I'll wait and see how 3rd edition goes, but I feel the same thing. I enjoy AOS far more at 1,500 points than at 2,000. I really don't like the 40K scoring system. Maelstrom, yeah, I don't understand. Okay, that's another thing. Why isn't Maelstrom in the game? Like, why do we, like, this is too long. Like, big mistake not having Maelstrom right away. Maelstrom should have been in the game all along. Like, and the complexity and everything of the game is, like, it's a weird thing to complain about because I want to be, like, it's gonna sound like I'm gonna play it. It's about to sound like I'm complaining about something, but it's not that I'm complaining because I actually like it. But I'm understanding I don't do any weird drugs. My nose is just itchy. I think I'm hopped up on the look at. Bought a nose hair trimmer, trims from nose hair on my nose. That's what happened. Okay. What was I about to talk about? The complexity of 9th edition. It's very layered. And I like that kind of stuff, but it also slows down the game. And it makes the game a little harder to play multiple different armies, but it gives you more ways of playing your one army. One army, I really enjoy it. I think the same thing is going to happen to Age of Sigmar with the new battle tomes. I'll actually make a video about this, go a little more into depth about this when the time comes, because I could be wrong when the battle tomes come out. There might not be. I think there is. I think they're hinting at it in the rule book. But I think the Sigmar audience, that's exactly what, like, they're not gonna. I don't know. I don't know if it is for the Sigmar audience. I hope it is. I want the game to do very, because what the new battle tones could be is actually super exciting for me. Actually, I might love them. But while playing the couple of games of third edition I did play, it felt a lot like playing 40. Now there are rule differences combat wise. I go like back and forth picking, but we had to pick up, for lack of a better term, a primary objective type thing every battle round we're trying to score. And usually you get like every scenario in the core rule book so far is actually, did the rules come out for that? I want to look it up. I don't know if because you can download the rules now for third edition if you sign up for a newsletter, which I immediately. I can't remember if the scenarios were in that. This is like 4 in the main rule book, and they're all like hold 1, hold 2, hold more, exactly like 40, exactly. And the game just felt like playing 40k light. And I don't know if I want. I don't know. No, I'm gonna phrase that. I don't want 2 versions of the same game. Bring a lot of guns, control your objectives. I already have that game. That's something I'm legitimately worried about. So that's a thing moving forward. Yeah, Argotol is are the 4 scenarios in that. Oh, I just opened it up. I have it on my phone. See if those scenarios are in. I like that there's an actual rule book now. Adds a lot of positive depth. Yeah, the scenarios are not in the pamphlet you can download. 44 pages of rules, no scenarios, whatever. You don't need them. I mean, everybody's going to be playing the Journal's handbooks. And I'm pretty sure article today. Yeah, we're going to get. Yeah, we have rules here for. Okay. More battle tactics, good strategies, all fantastic, all good. Battle plans. 1, 2, 3, 4. 12 battle plans, positive. Endless spell updates, great. And they reprinted the player's code. Battle tactics, good. And strategies, I can't remember which ones were. And more core battalions? I hope it's not a reprint. I hope it's actually more core battalions. Oh, okay, there's more core battalions because these ones are these long. These battle plans are locked to the realms. So for realm, cool. I mean, that's all makes sense. That all makes sense. I wish we had this already. Could use that, but I feel like that's the other half of the story. So Jonathan Lilly, I can't answer that because I don't know, because that's going to be in the battle tome, or it's very minimal in the rule book, and I actually can't remember. I can't remember what it's. I can't honestly. I can't remember what it was. What the Path of Glory stuff was in the main rule book. There was something for sure, but I just remember thinking, okay, we need the battle tomes to get a better feeling of this. A crashed internet is a terrible internet. Warhammer. I used to play Warhammer Quest. I used to play Hero Quest a long time ago. I had played Hero Quest before I got into fantasy. Blackstone Fortress. I did play a little bit Blackstone Fortress. It's not for me. I'm not a big board game guy. So yeah, Frederick. Well, not necessarily Frederick, because you can make your list, then pick your realm, and then see how to fit your list into those. But I'm not gonna bitch about that yet. I'm gonna wait and see how that works. Maybe there's like a I don't know. I don't know. Oh, maybe you can say your army is from this realm, and then you roll off to see which realm you're. There could be reasons that explain it or make it simple. So, but yeah, as it stands, that seems a little long. I'm super happy I never had to get 3D printed models. Mark safe for 2021. Yeah. Alex, yeah, fantasy is. Did you get into it because of Warhammer Total War? Yeah, I mean, around here we love fantasy. You think the focus on heroes and monsters and mid-sized units will make AOS feel different than 40k? No, I don't think there is a focus on mid-sized units. I think you want to spam 25 mil bases and anything with a good reach. I don't really see a focus on heroes and monsters yet. I think it's gonna be. I think it's too early to say anything about that. I think we need to see a third edition battle tome. I think we need to see. Here's what we need to see the General's Handbook, and then we need to see a third edition battle tome to really see where this is going. I knew it. Every Total War has been the greatest thing for the Warhammer Fantasy community by far. I have known or heard of more fantasy players that came from Total War that I've ever known back when fantasy was a supported and selling game. I should get back to painting. Yep, they sure did. Just wish the game was still supported. But that's what the old world is for. When that thing comes out, I think I'll be a happy man. No, you don't want to see me do a Total War campaign. I am remarkably bad. Like, I'm embarrassingly bad. You know what? Okay. Yeah, I'll try it and I'll stream it so that you all can tell me why I'm doing real bad as I'm making my decision. And again, Frederick, I'm pulling stuff out of my butt here. Like I'm trying to think, what could they possibly be thinking? There's a quick solution that I thought might be the thing they're thinking. I'm not saying that's going to happen. That would make sense. Do the highlights? Okay, you know what? Maybe on Saturday's stream, instead of painting, I'll do that. So this Saturday, I'll play some Total War. If I remember to install the game. So I'm not even sure if I have it currently. I think I do. If I stop streaming, I'll start installing. I'll do a high elf campaign where you see some quality failure. I played a lot of Bretonians, a lot of dwarves, and a little bit of high elves. I guess I did a little bit of lizardmen as well. Problem is, I just want to make a army and go attack something. That's all I want to do. Zach Moore. Are you my buddy, Zach? I know you, Zach. Or you just have the same name, just spelled differently. Ban the Badlands right away? No. I'll take the Badlands. I don't even know what the Badlands are. Just too easy. I know my first campaign where I started doing well, I was playing dwarves. I held off the Chaos Invasion. And then all of the other dwarves broke their allegiance with me one after another right away. Some even declared war on. Apparently, I was too friendly with the vampires. Buddy, how have you been? No Adepticon, I can't see Zach. Zach, what's your big thing? What game you playing nowadays? Still playing along a Song of Ice and Fire? That's true, Stephen Green. I totally get that. I know a couple of people who played Tomb Kings exactly because of the Total War. And bought miniatures because of Total War. I think I might be off tomorrow. In which case, maybe I'll start this thing tomorrow. Prepare for a mid-afternoon. Hey, well, boy! Prepare for a mid-afternoon Warhammer Total Warring. Or maybe early after. That's Elation. That's exactly right. That's the philosophy for every army. I love the Bretonians so much. Yep, yep. Yeah, Night Watch seems a little good. I haven't even looked at the Baratheons yet. I haven't had any time for that game. Your thoughts on Soulblight? Alex, you have to not care about that kind of stuff and just YOLO. Just charge them. Hope for the best. Okay, so the plan is right now and I want everybody to know before I finish the sentence, I am an incredibly unreliable person. I'm just, I'll do whatever I want. That's just who I am. The plan is right now, late morning / early afternoon, to start a High Elf Total War campaign on stream here on YouTube. Well, I'm gonna be real bad at it. I mean, real. And my work schedule could actually change any moment, so that like, unless somehow I don't finish painting these 9 guys, in which case I gotta do that first. We're almost done. We're almost done. The zombies are, yeah, I love the zombies. Blood Knights are solid. The problem is the Blood Knights only have 1-inch reach, right? The new coherency. Oh no. New coherency does not like them. Don't make me blush, Lehman Russ. Yeah. I get the Nagash thing. Wait, how's he gonna unrun the? Well, I don't. I know what you're trying to say. How are you stacking that? Oh, once per game, right? Assuming you have to use your heroic guy. You have to use your their finest hour to do that, right? That's the thing too. Luca plays Total War on hard mode, and I can't beat it on easy. It's all that much more embarrassing for me. Right. Right, Zach. You are tactically minded player with more than some experience playing miniature. Apparently, you like Age of Sigmar. Give me, give me a reasonable argument for the priority mechanic. If anybody's gonna convince me, it's gonna be you, and you're not gonna convince me. Well, I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong. Do it. I love army picks. I heard you say that as Tony the Tiger. Oh boy. I don't think I've done very bad with the high, even with the Hiles. I don't. I suspect some of you guys think I'm exaggerating how bad I am. I'm trying to turn it into a joke. Also, Andrew, you still here? Galway, you still here? Next time the boys come down, you come with? Steve at miniwargaming.com. Beautiful, buddy. And lightning it is. No, toughness 5. No, not at all. But the main reason why is you cannot look at toughness 5 orc boys um, with the 8th edition codex in mind. You have to look at what the whole codex is going to be in 9th, because I also like turtles. Xenos player. We like turtles, but yeah, what if the maximum orc boy is squad is now 10? It's not going to be, but it changes the it changes how I'm gonna feel about these toughness 5 orc boys. What if these toughness 5 orc boys are now 10 points a model? I'm not gonna use them. What if they're 5 points a model? I'm gonna use as many maximum squads as I can fit in a list, right? There's not enough information there. All we know is they're going to be toughness 5 in 9th edition, and we know every 9th edition codex has been a massive, not rework, but a massive change to the way you're making and playing your armies. They've all been very good, very positive. So I suspect, kind of, how do I put this? I'll just use the word suspect. I think that's the fairest way to say it. I suspect the orc book is going to be phenomenal. I don't know it's going to be phenomenal. I kind of know it's going to be phenomenal. And then, yeah, how I feel about this toughness 5 will matter as a whole. The part is meaningless. Yeah, I like me some Emmerich, but isn't Techless an option? I want to be Techless. Wait, isn't Lotharian an option? I want to be Lotharian. I want to play them all. Zach, I hate your argument. It's a bad argument. Let me explain. One, I agree with the short nose cat thing. And you call it Dr. Kill. That's funny because we actually call it Dr. Murder. Because sometimes it saves your game and sometimes it kills your game. Or sometimes that rule actually saves a battle report. Sometimes it ruins one. The reason why we call it Dr. Murder, because if there was a doctor who was like the world's greatest surgeon who saves, dozens of lives every week, but he goes out on the weekends and every now and then kills somebody, you're gonna lock that guy up. He's not able to save lives anymore. That's why the double turn is a doctor murdered me. He needs to be locked up, thrown in jail, or can do no more harm. Black Snore, I'm willing to bet they're going to be the same points or cheaper. I don't think the Orc Boys will go up in points. Because they would be useless if they did. In my opinion, toughness 4 Orc Boys at 7 points a model. Is it 7 or 8 points? 8 points a model right now. Not worth it. Not even close to worth it. Just making them toughness 5 still doesn't make them worth it for me, even though I know there'll be other changes. So, I don't know. They need more than just toughness 5 at 8 points a model. Pulse rifles rooting on 4s. Alex, yeah, okay, but I mean, Tau. That was my chair, by the way. Tau is really not great as a whole. That being said, they just took 4th of the Atlantic Open. Atlanta Open. Tau just can't. Tau has to play a little different. With the new Infinity, the mini game approaching, and the way command points Okay, so I don't know how long you've been here, but my issue with Doctor Kill, Doctor Murder, is more than just that. Because, like I said, it happening in between later battle rounds is far more impactful on who wins the game. I actually don't mind when it happens. I have a big problem when it happens in between battle round 1 and 2. When if you had to go first, whether you got forced to go first or whatnot, the drops, and your opponent takes a turn, and then takes another turn, I'm bored. I've waited too long to play this game. Um, Getting a double turn late game, and that actually sets you up to get a better double turn late game, so you're in a better position. But it's too late. I'm out of the game, and that's the big issue for me. It's like the game takes too long to play, as it is, and I don't want to wait another turn for me to have mine. You think it's not that bad anymore? I disagree. I think it's just as bad as ever was. But I can understand. Again, some people actually love it, and then what we should do? Like all the more, like I honestly, I wish I just loved it. I wish I could be like, yeah, I love it too. And then, like I can't choose what I like. Unfortunately, it is we don't have control over that stuff. And I envy the people who actually just love the rule. How does Elith and R play? Big scouty guy. It's Cruel Boys, not Crude Boys. Though I actually prefer calling them. We should call them Crude. And there's no I. Ah, can't stand BOI. I don't know why. Yeah, Zach. But the problem with that is he's still he's still too expensive. Maybe not. Maybe all those buffs make him. Archeon needs a points reduction, even with all those buffs. I don't play that. I do play Slays Darkness every now and then, but I never use Archeon. I don't really care for named characters. Um, oh, I played Teclis more than once. I love Teclis. Okay, I don't really care for Archeon, so I don't really play with him. He could use a points. Yeah, Stephen Green, like that kind of makes sense, seeing as how he was the Shadow Warrior. Right? Oh man, Teclis has got better. I wish people didn't hate Teclis so much. I really enjoy Teclis. Yeah, I don't know if he's like. It's hard to make this argument because I'm the one who plays Teclis because I don't want to be biased. But like he's not that bad. Because I can't stand when people make an argument about the stuff they play. But now with the changes to the rules and endless, I think he might be that bad. I want to play Teclis every time. Every time I play the game, I want to play Teclis. Then I'll play only you, Zach. The game, Sigmar right now, and I suspect we're going to address it moving forward. Sigmar has a big rock, paper, scissors problem. Like, look at it, we're going to. So the first bat rep that. Wait, was the first one? Yeah, the very first bat rep we recorded for 3rd edition. We put it out, I think, on Monday or Sunday. I can't even remember. Um, where I played Realm Lords and he played Night Haunt. Well, the original list was I was going to play Beast of Chaos and he was playing Night Haunt, and we're looking at the armies and we're like, we can't play this game. Like the Night Hunter gonna walk all over the beast. It's not even a game. All right, I'll go jump to a 3rd edition army or something closer to, and it was Realm Lords, and then we started to deploy, and then we both looked at each other at the exact same time. And we're like, wait, we have the exact same problem because the Night Hunt can't beat these Realm Lords like at all, no chance. I mean, higher chance than the beast beating the knight, but it didn't matter. And that's why there's a big long caveat at the beginning of that video. We're like, guys, we're just gonna try out a bunch of different things. We know this is a bad matchup for the Night On. And then I don't want to give any spoilers away. I'll stop talking about that game. I can talk about that game. Yeah, Teclis will die. He will absolutely die. But it's what he does until he dies. Like his aura ward, his making all the other wizards cast better. Ignoring like endless spell type stuff, having him control like he's auto cast. He's basically auto casting, auto dispel. Like he's too good, too good, and I know it, which makes me like ah. I haven't opened the email yet. I'm opening it now. You're looking at pictures. I like it. Honestly, Wild Boy, I actually just love the idea of Mage Lord. We'll probably do one of the names here. Smackdown the guy. Yeah, it's true. He did do that, didn't he? What? Why do you have two Typhon? Why do you have two Typhon? Ooh, I love the speeders. Because I opened this on my phone, I have no way of showing anyone. I'm not saying I have to show people pictures. I gotta remember to do that. I want to make sure I pre-crop out emails and stuff like that. The Mastodon and two Assault Rams. Man, so I love your scheme. I love the red. I love the speeders. Um, I just played a game against Luca and the Wolves, and I did not want to kill Gary and Frecky. He made me kill. I don't want to attack nobody's dogs. Oh, dirt. Man, those are I would Zach. I don't know, buddy. Those archers, they're gonna kill characters reliably. And he played the Great Nation of Helon, and with the Unleash Hell command ability, they're too good. Maybe too good. I don't know. I don't want to call anything too good, but I love them archers. But those Blade Lords do quite a good amount of work. The Wardens do pretty good work as well. I actually really like the Dawn Riders as well. I actually like that book. I love those archers. Even though those bows couldn't actually fire an arrow. Jonathan, I don't know about that. I said Luke is a death player, and he wants to see that change. I don't know. I don't know. I don't. I guess this is as far as I go because that's honest how I feel. I don't know. I see the argument for it. I just don't know if it's warranted. But maybe it is. I don't know. Wait and see how the game plays out and shakes out once we start seeing new books. That's true, Zach. That's true. Wait. Okay, Wild Boy. I knew Kislev was coming, but Cathay's coming as well? Is that for sure? I think they all no, they said there's a Kislev army coming for the old world. I mean, they showed off. They already showed off concept drawings of the bears or bear riders. Yes, correct. Yeah, I claimed them, but I've been claiming everything they've been announcing for the old world. So I unclaimed everything. We're all gonna just buy what we want and see how it all shakes out. I want to ride some bears. A secret seventh pre-order army. Eric, I hope you can't. For some reason, I just want I don't know how you would do it. I want the army to stand on its own. I don't want to use 40k models in Age of Sigmar, even though we do with Demon. I don't want to use Age of Sigmar models in the old world, even though I'm going to assume that demons will probably do the same thing. But Eric, if you can't, that means we have a different scale game. I actually don't want a different scale game, so I'm going to rephrase that. I hope that you can. I would love if it was Chaos Dwarf. When the Adam and Eddie were talking about the Age of Sigmar stuff, and like the Hobgrots have a secret master, didn't even occur to me that it was Chaos Dwarves. No, Ratty, email me the list, Zach. Email it to me. You have to spend $150 for the miniatures and do it, Zach. Ridiculous price cost of the models from Horus City. True, but Warriors of Chaos Hell Cannon has always been pushed. The Chaos. Sweet. I'll hide the list from Lucas so he never plays it. I'm actually gonna tell him about it tomorrow, so he can play it. Yeah, Steve, I get that. There's no real incentive to do it though. Same as Destroyer stuff. I think they kind of Necron's. I think solid book, very powerful, very good. But Destroyers and Blade ones, they're melee. Outside of, I guess, Praetors and Lichguard, seem to be a little lacking. Well, I mean, they got the Nightbringer. I meant unit wise. I don't know. I find deep striking harder and harder to do in ninth. Everybody knows how to zone it out. Table's small. Well, that's another big thing about Age of Sigmar 3rd edition. The smaller recommended table size. I think it'll have a bigger impact on Sigmar than the 40k. Yeah, exactly. Boxes of 5. Prices just keep going up. We keep paying it. They're gonna keep going up. So I'm gonna read you what Wilder says. Before I say this, I know I'm crazy. If Games Workshop gives the okay, I know Total War wants to release Malal for his shock value. Also, Total War 40k will happen now that Dawn of War is gone. Okay, so my understanding, and I don't, this may not be true, but it's probably true. I'm pretty sure it's true. Sorry, I'm getting a message. Yeah, Zach. Um, they don't. Games Workshop does not own the rights to Malal. Malal first came out in a comic book, I believe. Again, I might be wrong with this whole thing, so take it with a grain of salt, right? But Games Workshop does not own the rights to Malal. Some comic book writer does. That's why you'll never see Malal again in any Games Workshop property. He no longer exists. Games Workshop now hates Malal like Malal hates Chaos. I don't think they retconned it. But, I mean, that happened. I would love to know about that. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Malal, he was for a while, and we're talking the 80s. He was the canon 5th Chaos God. I don't think Malal. No, I don't. I'll have to look into that. I don't think that's true, Powell, but that could be true. I don't think so. Either way, Malal was the 5th Chaos God who hated the other 4. And Malal only ever had one follower, whose name I can't remember. And the comic was about that guy. Wiki says so? Well, how much do you trust Wiki? Which Wiki? And what's their source? No, they don't really dislike each other. So Korn can't stand Slanesh and vice versa, and Zinch and Nurgle don't get along. All right, Jack, let's do this. Might not make full sense to me though. As a guy who doesn't. You're a dick. That's my reaction. I don't want to play against this. I don't even know what it does. I'm not playing against this. It's 100 direwolves in groups of 10. You're literally just gonna bog the enemy down one unit at a time as you score points. Right? Like that's basically the whole plan, right? You all run forward, you score points, and they have to take forever getting through them all. There's only gonna kill one or two dog units. Yeah, back in the 80s, we also the order gods. They were was it order or was it law? Like, gods of order or gods of law? I can't remember what they were called. New mini is a person. Well, Tyranids need a new. Okay, Tyranids need a rework. But I personally love Hormagaunts for their speed in Ninth Edition. I know spamming Termagants are a big Ninth Edition thing. So I would just make sure the guy has a lot of Hormagaunts and Termagants. And also, right now, a big blob of Warriors because of certain adaptations can be quite effective. But Termagants and Hormagaunts, you can never go wrong. You can never have enough. Space Marine Bob. That's kind of cool, Jonathan. I wouldn't want to play that list. Why are they true? Why are they battle line? Are dire wolves? They just one wound. They two wounds. I have to check. They're two. Okay. But see, nobody owns that many dire wolves, and anybody who does always gets a nerf or something will affect them eventually. Like when Quirk went and bought out all those Brimstone Horrors, he didn't even get them painted before they're like, oh yeah, no, this is broken. We're not allowing this to happen. So if you go and buy that many dire wolves, Zach, I hope Games Workshop smacks down you in that stupid list. They can kill now. How good are the dire wolves? Has the app been updated for the? It must have been. Two attacks, 4s and 4s. Oh, 3s and 3s in the charge. Interesting. They can. They have a good save. Well, they have a good save. They have a decent save. Not crap. Oh, they're 135 points, so they're not that cheap. Fast. That would be appropriate karma, Alex. I love that. Yeah, these 9 here are the last of my 30k Iron Warriors. I have to finish painting, and then my 6,000 point Iron Warriors list is done and put to bed. the foreseeable future, because I have a bunch of other things I need to work on. Of course they do. Zach, did you buy 120 direwolves yet? Answer honestly. Did you do this? Do I think the Iron Warriors Legion trait will change? No, they have no reason to change it. How much wine do you drink to have those handy for painting bases? Oh my god! I couldn't figure it out. A lot, not a lot. My family bottles wine. Well, they used to. They're all dead. I haven't got them all. So having wine corks all over the place was common. Also, I believe you can go on Amazon and just buy a bag of these things. Or you can go to a wine store and just buy a bag of them. Zach, you're killing me, bro. No way. It's not -1 to wound. -1 to wound is so good. I'm gonna check the corpse card. No, just a +1 save for Deadwalker zombies doesn't affect the armor. Though I think you're right. The corpse card used to affect rolls as well, but no, they don't. I think the best fighters for Beastmen now are Ungor. Wow, when we think of it, like they're one attack each, 4s and 4s, just like Gores, except for they're on 25 mil bases. So you're gonna get way more attacks than your enemy. Balefire was -1 to cast. Just read it. Come on. There's no Balefire. Oh, are these like upgrades in the book? Gross. It's not in the War Scroll. These are breachers. They're not terrible. They're really high in points. They're not good because of that reason. But I enjoyed them and I like playing with them, so. There's 2 corpse cards? Stop. Stop. Oh. It's not even wholly within 9, it's just within 9. Who cares? I think I'd rather just have more dogs. My breachers are armed with 2 Melta guns, and a combi Melta and a breaching charge on the sergeant. Oh, and everybody has Melta bombs. Their job is to hunt vehicles. Now, I would play them a little differently in Zone Mortalis. I'd probably drop the Melta bombs in Zone Mortalis. No, the shield gives them a 6 of invuln, and then a 5 of invuln in shooting. They're not that. They're actually not that resilient. For the points you pay, like this squad's like 300 some odd points. But they have hardened armor, which is just not great. The breacher charge is not worthless. Somebody charges you, or you charge somebody, you just throw that breacher charge. Hope to God you don't hit your own guys. Yeah, nice direct hit. Win. Oh my breacher charge. You know what, Andrew? I didn't even look into that. So basically, the second edition, you hit a 1+ save. You were unrendable, basically, the way the game worked. Until you took damage and as a save got modified. I don't know if it still works the same way in third. We'll have to look into that. Yeah, I honestly, I'm an old man. I wouldn't even know where to find copyright friendly music. They look cool, and that is all that matters. I know, buddy. But Jonathan, I don't believe you care about that video at all. And two, I actually had audio issues with it. I planned on uploading that this morning, but then I had a bunch of problems. And I finally got it uploaded, and it was still a different audio problem. But I think this one is currently good. I basically went live. I went live with it while I was live. It doesn't appear to have any. Yeah, no audio issues now. Audio was low. Well, did it really? Okay, well, I can't fix the audio anymore. It happened. It's ingrained in the recording. Hello, Maxor. I had some. The Vangorians are the centaur vampire. I fought against them. And they were Luca legitimately felt bad about that game. He thought I was actually. If you see, he's laughing hard right before the post game because he actually thought I was gonna rip into him. That he shouldn't have brought them. Like they were fine. Like they were a rough match for me and the table we played on. Why Mortec Guard couldn't get through? Mortec Guard are real good though. I'm watching Reddit complain about the nerf to Mortec Guard because the mana ability basically. They had their heyday. Oh yeah, that's right. The shield wall. The shield wall is a big hit for them, but also it's fair. Honestly, Beastmen, they gotta nerf their leadership. And honestly, they put in too many reliable attacks per model. It's just not fair for the opponent. That and then they can also summon. It's too good, dude. Like if you want to be a Beast of Chaos player, you're that guy. I'll wait until they get nerfed before you pick up. Just so you're not known. I was a Necron Elder player for years. I'm used to it. Shrews. And be careful the way you say things. Type thing. Dude, they're in a rough spot too. I think Nighthaunt are definitely not the worst army, but they're not in a great spot. But you can also just bam a big horde of ghosts, the spirit swarms, and then just regenerate them back. Like that's unfun for your opponent. But for the most part, here's my thing about Nighthaunt. They're not great, but they have a feel bad mechanic. Like Wave of Terror isn't overpowered. It is not broken. It's honestly not even that good. It's good. It's not that good. Every time your opponent rolls it, it's a feel bad. I don't know why. Yeah, Wild Boy. I 100% fully agree. That's exactly it. Let them have a bunch of models and let them regenerate, but they have to one not be able to kill everything in your entire army, and two they have to be able to dodge. Like regular skeletons would just kill everything because they have so many attacks, and then the Mortec Guard would kill everything. They also just wouldn't die. Reddit does balance as well as I can operate a spaceship. I like that. Yeah, the Hearthstone hard counter to Night Haunt. Jonathan Kelly, this guy needs to start his own YouTube channel. He has nothing but quality information that every player needs to learn. This is just good information that just needs to get out there. Really Park to that guy. I'm super excited to see what Stormcast comes in 3.0. I want to see their battle tone because they are boring as all hell right now. One thing he's a little confused with is the reinforced rule. Reinforce another super Muppet Minded. You're the second ever super chat. That's awesome. Super appreciate it. Nobody has to do that, but that's awesome. And pick your brain on a competitive question. I have 1,000 suns plus demon player in our group who is unbeatable. Smite spam plus replenishing horrors. Okay, so there's something that you have to keep in mind, and maybe you are already very fully aware of this. Some people are just better than others at miniature wargaming. This guy could just be better than everybody else in the store. Now, if that's true, and he's a douchebag about it, then he's somebody I don't want to play against. But if he recognizes it and starts playing down to everybody, that's also that's cool on his part. But if you're having trouble beating him, because I know smite spam could be a thing, and like 1,000 Suns have some good things, but they're by no means amazing top tier. So I need a greater context here. Like, when you say he's 1,000 Sun plus demon player, are you saying he's bringing Magnus and a bunch of Slanesh Keepers of Secrets? Because that's a guy he's being too tryhard. But if he's playing 1,000 Suns without Magnus and then a bunch of demons, it might be just a theme list and he's really good at the game. That being said, I think the conversation is almost always the best way to handle these things. Like, are you having fun playing against him? Then there's nothing to change. Have a good time and keep trying. But if it's not fun, then be like, hey, dude, like I'm not having fun playing this. Would you mind trying something different? And if he's not willing to do that, he's not somebody that you're gonna want to play against anyway, and that guy will slowly start losing players to play against in the sport. But if he's fun to play against, he's probably willing to have the conversation how to tone it down. Or you can just work really hard at countering his list. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I don't like to do it in bat reps where we try to make a list that counters other people's lists without some greater context. But you can be like, hey, dude, I want to try. I have a list in mind that could take down your list. I want to give it a try. And like let him know like that's what you're trying to do, because it could be a feel bad for him if you bring a bunch of hard counters to his list. But like, what's his? Give me some more. What's the? Does he have one list all the time? Okay, to clarify my question, he's bringing all Tzeentch themed stuff and usually has Magnus and names Tzeentch Greater Demon and plays the points, or he pays the points for various horrors. Yeah, okay, so those horrors, he's paying the points. They're hard to shift, and then what's his name? Heroes, Fate Weaver, and Magnus. They're gonna be rough. They're gonna be rough. Yeah, that's gonna be a hard one. Okay, well, I think Sisters might be a reasonable. What army do you play? Do you want the general answer, or do you I need to know what you play, because I feel like Dark Angels with the Raven Wing won't have much problem against this guy at all. Like at all, they're gonna drive up a bike character with you can't get better than a 5 of invuln, and they'll just drive right next to Magnus, and then you're gonna shoot him down like nothing. I think there are some Catan that I'm not a problem with Heroes. I mean, with Magnus. I think Sisters of Battle could probably do. I'm by no means a Sisters expert. Could probably do very well against them with their new psychic defense rules. Yeah, it sounds like a rough list. His whole thing is to put the horrors in front of you, and the Zangors in front of you while he smites you to death. Okay, so if you play Harlequins, you're that Harlequins don't like mortal wounds. Nobody likes mortal wounds. Okay, here's what I recommend. If you play Dark Angels, what's your Raven Wing collection look like? Does your Raven Wing have the the firepower, the output to tear through all of those horrors with just your bolt guns? You bring a lot of bikes, you'll tear through them, and then you get a character. I like the idea of a champion. You put a Ravenwing champion on a bike. Well, obviously, he has to be. He takes the relic where you can't get your. The only way to pass a ward save is unmodified 5+. Those 2, 3s, and 4s fail. You drive him next to Magnus, and you unleash everything on him. He's gonna go down. Ravenwing is real strong. People are talking Deathwing, 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 Deathwing. I strongly believe Ravenwing is significantly more powerful than the Death. Ravenwing love 9th edition and can kill. They can kill. But you need a lot of bikes. You gotta make sure you don't waste points on bad units with Ravenwing. Like, I love the idea of Black Knights. A little too expensive. I love the Flyers. A little too expensive. If you play Dark Angels, a unit of 6 Plasma Inceptors with a Chapter Master, giving them a reroll, and then you 6 Plasma Inceptors, Chapter Master reroll, Weapons of the Dark Age, and a character making Magnus not have better than 5 of invuln. Dead Magnus. Yeah, Swoosh nailed it. Nothing more impressive than, like, honestly, if he knows his list, even it's a good list, but it's not an amazing. It's not up here. The list is pretty good though. But if he knows it, like that's more important than having a good list. Like he's good with his list. One squad of Black Knights, full squad of Land Speeders, Nephilim Jet Fighter, Talon Masters are good. Primaris Chappie on a bike, solid leader. Or Sammy. I actually like Sam and the Chaplain. Yeah, I think you need a second battalion because well, I was gonna say you want to bring a psyker, but like they'll shut your psyker down pretty good. Because the Interomancy is amazing. Every spell in Interomancy is amazing. Thank you, Jeremy. All right, Muppet Minded. How close to me are you? Can I lend you my army? Is there any chance you live really close to me in Ontario? I'll lend you my Dark Angels. You can try a bunch of things, and you can figure out what you need because you need a lot. You need a lot of regular, just basic bikers. Stop, Jonathan Kelly. You got to be careful with that. Well, here's the thing, and here's something else you have to keep in mind. You don't have to over worry about it right now. In fact, you shouldn't even think about it too much right now, because Games Workshop has announced the Thousand Suns Codex, which will be out, I'm gonna guess, before the end of the summer. It could be real soon, which is gonna change everything about his list and how he plays. And all of a sudden, I gotta assume Magnus is only gonna get better. Heroes will probably only get better, and there'll be tweaks to everything else. So I think we have to have this conversation again in anywhere from 1 week to 2 months. This is my guess for the time frame on this book. We'll have to have this conversation all over again. Elder had a time when they were ridiculous, absolutely. Every army, like the spokes on the wheel, has had their time on top. Every army, I believe, right? I do know about our Lord and Savior Gilliman. Higher. Oh, Gilliman's a good. Well, the thing about Magnus is he's not likely to have a 3-up involved real soon. Right? It's fair to assume they're going to take that away from him. But if they allow one model in this game to have a 3-up involved, it would be him. So we'll see. Elder's time of being ridiculous is not that much time. No, they were bad for a while. Second, they were really good. Now I didn't play anything, but I think it was like there was an edition. Was it fifth maybe? There was an edition when they were real bad. That's just my understanding. Yeah, no, Beasts of Chaos have always been on top for sure. In the Warhammer Fantasy and in Age of Sigmar, but we allow that. We allow that because they're just best army. Yeah, I do think he'll go to toughness 8. Oh, Gilliman, does he still have a 3-up involved? Okay, Primarch 3-up involved, sure. Again, he's one model I would see them allowing it, even Magnus, but I'll still bet that Magnus loses his 3-up involved. But we'll see. I think he'll have a 4-up all the time type thing. Can't wait to let Grey Knights get a +1 wound, but I wonder if Orcs will. I don't think the Paladins will get another wound. They might. I have a feeling Orcs will be before Grey Knights and Thousand Suns. No, actually, maybe not. I don't know. It's hard to say because they're showing off the models of the Orcs and the battle tomes of the other two armies, or the army books, the codices, the codices of the other two armies, but they don't need new models. What's that crazy attachment of wolves and Dark Angels? I don't know. If I'm gonna guess, I'm gonna assume it's the Thunderwolf Cavalry. Cavalry. Yeah, Muppet minded. I get that. That is actually just I wouldn't fight them in close combat, and I would use my bikes and just tear them down, just keep shooting. Yeah, but Swoosh, that 8th edition supplement was written with 9th edition in mind. Like they knew 9th edition was coming, and they knew they were changing invulns to not be through. Oh, but again, yeah, your next comment, he might lose down. I agree. I think if there was another Ultramarine supplement, he'll probably lose the 3-0. But he'll have to gain something else. But I think Lehman Russ follows the other tanks to 7. Did the Lehman Russ drop to T? What dropped? I don't. I'm not following that. What tanks dropped to T7? Or are you asking if you think they will? No. No, they'll stay at T8. They'll balance them in other ways. I think we're going to lose tank commanders because, like, tank commanders were just anti-narrative, right? They didn't, like, everything's about following the narrative, the existing universe, and every guard army has got 2 tank commanders and no tanks. So maybe there'll probably be something like a detachment you need, led by a tank commander, and just tanks in it to have a tank commander. Yeah, Wrath of Baby. That's also a good point. There's the bodyguard. Are they Primaris? I thought they were not Primaris. It doesn't matter. But they're limited to 2 models, right? Yeah, but Zach, that's odd. Mortarion is a little too efficient, right? Bolters win battles. We live by the script. It's true. And commenters do. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, there's no point having regular rust. I don't think 40k Wild. I don't think 40k needs a new faction right now. One, obviously they got to focus on. I got to stop getting mad. You have to focus on finishing their codices for 9th, and then they'll probably do like. Nah, I don't see a new army coming for a while. Remember, we just had one technically because Admech is only a few years old, 5-ish. No, Jonathan Lilly. There is zero chance that Mornval and the war suits aren't going to get around. I can't believe that like, people still believe that that's not a misprint. It's going to be to a minimum of 1. Codex Zote. Yeah, we've all seen Mortarion die after taking on an entire army, of course. No, don't get me wrong. I don't think Mortarion is as bad as the internet says he is. I think he absolutely will die. I just think the way 9th edition is played, he's too dominated. Um, but like by no means bringing Mortarion isn't an auto win. You don't just win because you bring him. He's just really efficient. Because the Paragon War suits are 80 points a model, right? That's incredibly, ridiculously too cheap if you immune to damage 1 weapon. There's zero chance those guys are not going to get fixed to be. Obviously, we meant to a minimum of 1. -1 damage is already amazing. Who has the oldest codex not updated? Guard? Chaos? I'm not sure. Chaos Guard, Orcs are all really, really old. Eldar is older than Orcs, actually. It might be Eldar. The Eldar come before or after Guard. Oh, Gradient just had their book. It's Guard or Eldar. Yeah, Mark II, but that doesn't count. I'm not counting that as a new codex. A White Dwarf insert. Alright, with Beast Negas and 40k, the new Cruel Boys and AOS, I'm thinking of a Snakebite Clan Orc army. What beast do you think I can use as a substitute for trucks and battle? Celadon? Yeah. Anything really. I would wait and see what the Beast Negas come out with. I expect to see a bunch of big beasties that'll do exactly what you're thinking. But if you want, but you may not want trucks. But if you actually want trucks, yeah, but still that's not a bad choice. No. Stegatrons. Take some Stegadons and put some Orcs in there on the Howdah. Mangler Squigs, yeah. But I mean, if Games Workshop smart, they're gonna make everybody want to use the new Beast Nega models, not the old trucks, right? Those trucks models have been around forever. They want to sell you new kits, so they're probably not going to be the most ideal thing. Like the most likely best thing in the new Orc Codex will be all Beast Nega type stuff and new model stuff or stuff that didn't sell well previously. So basically, if it was good, it's not going to be as good. If it was bad, it's going to be a lot better. And if it was new, it'll probably be good. Now, there are some exceptions to that rule. Hammerfell Bunker was terrible. The 3-inch move guns weren't great. The Primaris speeders were overpriced. But generally, newer is better. If I get rid of any race in Fantasy and iOS, I would get rid of not the Dwarves. I'd get rid of the Ogres. I'm going to paint a bunch of hazards. Which I can't do while streaming. I have to focus. But we already have models for the Squig Buggies. We have the Rocket Truck Squig Buggy. I've played Troggoths a lot. I don't know. I like the troll. Anyway, I just don't. I don't like how they fit into 8th edition of Fantasy. I think, they're too dominating. They're too mindless. Well, the dwarves can have the same problem where you use castle in a corner. It's not fun to play against, but I don't know. They both can be very oppressing and not fun to play against, but at least the ogres are running at you right away. There's not a whole lot you can do. Whereas the dwarves, you can try to take your not take your time, but try to hide behind terrain and use magic. The ogres are just. Oh, a third. Yeah. But like, trolls have a 2-inch coherency, so they're not going to care about the coherency. That's right, 2-inch reach. So they're not going to care about the coherency issues. That was that. Wait, do the Fellwater have a 2-inch reach as well? Their finest hour. Yeah, it's true. Finest hour Trog boss. Again, I'm actually just more excited for new battle tones. I wonder how long. Does anybody know, like, from the release of a new edition, how long typically until the battle tomes come out for those boxes, the models in the boxes? It can't be too long, right? like also Games Workshop isn't gonna want to release multiple things the same weekend. They want to stagger it out. We have 3 codices announced. One, we know the Orcs having a bunch of new models. We have a whole new Cruel Boys line. 2 new Battletomes that have to come out right away. Stormcast and the Cruel Boys. It can't be 6 months. It's got to be way less than that. It's either way less than that or about 2.54 years. Ignore everything Jonathan Kelly. Yeah, a month or so seems about right. But that's gonna hold off some 40K releases. But that order also too? Okay. Yeah, so the Trogoths are not going to be affected by that coherency thing. That coherency thing, it's real rough. Real rough for some armies. Deepkin, Beast of Chaos, don't like it. It's going to greatly reduce their effectiveness. It can't be even 2 to 3 months seems too far. Like it's got to be within a month, right? 2 at the absolute most. Anything longer than that is ridiculous. Yeah, I'm gonna say we're gonna have those battle tomes within a month. At least by the end of July. I say by the end of July we'll have the Stormcast and Cruel Boys battle tome, and hopefully much. Yeah, not so good, Chris. I don't think they ever will. I actually don't even know what her ability is, Zach. I was looking at Cruel Boys and not her. Jonathan. Happy with it. In fact, you actually brought it up. I haven't played that army in forever. I want to go back and play that. I want to play that real soon. Mandibility's being a little bit different. Or a board across the table. Monsters getting technically better. Yeah, I'm gonna go play the X Temple. Yeah, Deepkin were an early 2nd edition Battletome. So there's a so was Beast of Chaos. Night Hunt, Beast of Chaos, Deepkin, all super early 2nd edition Battletomes that need an up. Jeez, that's rough. I know that. Yeah, I mean, like they don't hard counter the Lumineth, but they do counter them. It would be interesting. Okay, I have to paint the hazard stripes, so I'm gonna sign off now because I can't focus and paint these things. And this will finish up this army. Tomorrow, unless so my schedule got okay. I gotta stick around. Okay, I thought some nothing to talk. Who Stinka? Hoopastinka? Hoopastinka. Took me longer to read that than it should. But you wrote it and you paid for it. So I'll read Hoopastinka from the Swoos. Zach, honestly, dude, that actually, oh, we'll talk. That might be a good. So, yeah, I'm gonna go finish you guys off. I'm gonna go paint, and my game for tomorrow got kind of rescheduled, basically type thing. So I don't have a game tomorrow, so I'm not going into the studio. So I will, unless that changes, late morning, early afternoon tomorrow, I'll do some Total War, which we're gonna start a download right now. We'll do a high elf campaign, and you'll all see how really bad I. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're on tomorrow, I'll see you then. Forget it.